Hello, my fellow artists of life. Happy New Year. I hope you had a good start of the year. And if you didn't, let's change the story. In this video, I want to share a powerful exercise that will help you manifest your desires this year, as well as create yourself in any aspect of your life and experience what you want to experience, accomplish everything on your list for 2023 in a much more powerful way than by setting intentions or making resolutions or long to-do lists that usually set you up for failure. You can apply this to any time frame that you want. If you need something for 6 months from now, or if you have a deadline on a project, you can apply this exercise to that specific goal or project or deadline as well. Before I dive in, I want to introduce myself. I'm Andrea Balz. I'm a writer and a mindset, self-love, and self-creation / manifestation coach. And on this channel, we talk about manifestation, life creation, reality creation, and self-love, and everything that you need to experience the life that you desire in every aspect of your life. So if you want to work with me, check out the description box for different options, courses, coaching, a retreat coming up as well. And let's dive into the video. So this exercise is going to change the way you go about manifesting and about creating this year, or at least it's going to set you in a different mind frame to begin the year. The first step is finding 30 minutes of alone time, finding some space and time where you can be uninterrupted, turning off your phone, finding this quiet time, at least 30 minutes or as long as you have, but at least 30 minutes to give yourself enough time to assimilate and go through this exercise. You can make yourself a cup of tea or coffee or a glass of wine, whatever gets you in the mood. Set up the environment, prime yourself to get inspired and excited with this exercise, excited about your life, excited about what you're creating this year. And maybe you can play some soothing music that quiets your mind, that calms your mind, because it's important that you are in a neutral, you bring yourself to a neutral space. Take out a notebook or a journal and sit with yourself in silence, or inner silence, for at least for about 10 to 15 minutes, or as long as it takes you, and think exclusively about the desires that you have for yourself this year. And you're going to notice that as soon as you think of your desire, the first thing that comes up in your mind, intertwined with your desire, is all the obstacles that are in between you and your desired reality or your desired goal, whatever that is, in whatever aspect of your life. You're going to notice how the first thing that comes up right after your desire or next to it is all the reasons why you can't have it, all the physical obstacles, all the mental obstacles, all the fears, all the doubts, everything that is getting between where you are and where you want to be and your desired reality. And so I want you to become aware of that first, because most of us are not aware of that. So we think we're focusing on what we want, but usually what happens is that we're focusing more on what we don't want. When you're in a state of wanting, you think you're focusing on what you want, but you're actually focusing on everything, or most of the time, most of us are focusing on everything that is getting between you and what you actually want. And this is very normal. It happens to all of us. In all my years of coaching and teaching, and a decade of coaching and teaching, I've not met a single person that, when asked the question, what do you desire? What do you want for your life? What do you actually want? What do you really want? Not a single person has answered this question only speaking of their desire or their goal. Not a single person has been able to just focus on what they want without at the same time mentioning what they don't want. I want this, I want that, but this, but that, but. They can never just finish the sentence focused on their desire. There's always a reason why they can't have it that is brought up in the same sentence. So I want you to become aware of this, because awareness is the beginning of power. I want you to become aware of the importance that you're giving the obstacles that are getting between you and your desire. And in this exercise, I want you to drop all those obstacles from your mind. I don't want you to focus on your circumstances or change anything about your circumstances. The exercise is happening here. We're doing it in the mind. We're not doing it outside of you. It's all happening within you. You are the creator. And what we're doing here is change the story. We're changing the inner story that is fueling the outer reality. So don't take any outer action, just focus on the mind for this exercise. So I want you to drop all the obstacles that come up. Once you become aware of all the obstacles that are coming up, intertwined with your desires for yourself this year, I want you to drop those bastards. Drop them. Just drop them. Just let go of them for even for 5 minutes. Even 5 minutes of undivided attention and focus on your desire alone are more powerful than hours spent thinking about what you don't want. So I want you to drop those fears, those doubts, those obstacles, even if they actually exist in your outer reality, even if it's not just a fear or a doubt that you have, but you actually have a real physical obstacle. I get it. Just drop it for this exercise. Okay, drop it from your mind. You're free in your mind. And you need to get to the place where you can reach for this freedom in your mind without or before your outer reality changes. And this is the first step. So focus on all your desires that you want for yourself this year, whatever they are in whatever area of your life. Write them down if you want. Make a list of everything and notice the opposition that comes up at the same time and drop it. And then focus exclusively on the desire for as long as you can, maybe 5-10 minutes, as long as you can hold it. And then once you get clear about what you want, and once you're able to allow and accept what you want, open yourself up to what you want without giving importance to what you don't want in the same breath. Once you do that, I want you to get yourself in the inner state of consciousness of the person who already has what you want. So you're going to transport yourself to December 31st of 2023. In this case, if you're doing this exercise for the year 2023 or whatever date in the future you want to set for this exercise. And I want you to transport yourself to that date and feel yourself in that state of consciousness that has already accomplished what you want to accomplish, that has already experienced what you want to experience this year. Feel that end result. Feel that wish fulfilled. And this isn't about feelings per se. So it's not about feeling happy or forcing yourself to feel anything. Focus on the thoughts and the state of consciousness. Put yourself in that state of consciousness and the feelings will arise naturally. It's not about forcing feelings on yourself or anything. It's by feeling, I mean, mostly put yourself in a state of consciousness and the actual emotions will come once you put yourself in that state. How would you feel? What would you say? How would you express yourself? What is that state like? What does it feel like to be in that state? And once you're in that state, I want you to write yourself a letter, your current self a letter, just describing or telling your current self about everything that you've accomplished this year, that you've experienced, that you've created this year. Just tell your current self whatever your current self needs to hear. And once you get into that state in your mind, you're going to know exactly what to tell your current self. You're going to shift this is how you shift states, and this is essential to manifestation, because what manifestation really is changing yourself inside to align with your desired reality. It's not so much about getting things and people to come to you. It's about you becoming the person who already has those things, who already has those relationships. You becoming the person who's already experiencing that reality. So with this exercise, you are doing exactly that. You're shifting states inside, and it's one of the most powerful ways to manifest. It's also one of the most powerful ways to align with what you want, because you're involving yourself mentally and emotionally in this new reality that you want to experience, that you want to manifest. And you can't really do that when you're making to-do lists or resolutions, because that's when you're making those lists, you're making them from the state of not having. So you're not really transforming inside. You're just making a list, and then you're kind of setting yourself up for failure, because if it doesn't happen, or if you don't reach those goals, or if you don't get there, then there's something wrong with you. And there's nothing wrong with you. You just need to shift, go from a state of not having something, of not being something, to a state of being it. And the place where you first have to do that is in your imagination, which is the gateway for creation. This is your artist studio. This is where you're creating your life. It's here. It all starts here. It starts with the stories that you believe about yourself and your life. So you're going to go to that state step by step. you're first going to feel what you desire, allow what you desire, allow your desires to come up in your mind without saying no to yourself. Stop saying no to yourself in your mind. Why are you saying no to yourself? Why are you denying yourself what you want? So stop denying your desires to yourself in your mind, where you are actually free to experience them and to accept them, accept your desires in your mind. And then put yourself in the mental state of the person who already has the reality that you desire in any aspect, any area of your life. How would you feel? What would you say? What would you think? Just allow yourself to go there. Imagine that. Use your imagination. How would that feel? Put yourself in that state. And once you feel familiar in that state, write yourself a letter from that state. Write your current self a letter from the state of having achieved, accomplished, received, experienced everything that you want in the next 12 months. And the final step is read that letter every day, at least 2 times. If you don't have time to do it during the day, if you forget about it, read it once at night and once in the morning. When you're waking up or when you're about to fall asleep, that's the best state, because that's when you're lowering your guard. You have less resistance. You're not operating so much based on logic. Logic is based on your past experiences. It's a consensual, agreed upon reality with others, and it's also based on your past experiences and also past limitations, past disappointments. So what you're going to do is you're going to read yourself this letter, and you're going to sit in that feeling coming from this letter, from what you read, right at the times of day when your conscious mind is shutting down and your logic is shutting down and your resistance is lowering, and you're allowing yourself to receive that. You're allowing yourself to feel that, in the same way as if you're watching a movie that you love, that you enjoy. You're transporting yourself to the reality of that movie, to the reality of these characters that you're watching, right? So the same way, the letter is kind of a movie, like a mental movie, and you read it as many times as you can, as many times as you remember. Whenever you feel triggered by your outer reality, by your circumstances, by any obstacles that are telling you that you can't have what you want, that you can't experience what you want, go back to this letter, read this letter, and believe this letter more than you believe your doubts and your fears and your worries and your limitations. Believe in this reality, in your desired reality, much more than you believe in your past reality, in the things that you don't want. Commit to what you actually want and prime your mind to receive what you want, to accept what you want. You have to train your mind every day to get there. And there's many ways to do this. Another way is affirmations. There's many ways to get there. But this is a very powerful one when it comes to planning your year. So I hope this helped you. And let me know in the comments when you do this exercise. Let me know what things come up. If there's any aspects of this exercise that were more difficult than others, or that you struggled with, or anything that came up for you, I'd love to know. Also, if you want to work with me, check out the links in my description box below. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video, and Happy New Year.